Clear Water Revival. And we understood the lyrics, but we didn't understand the kind of print that was on the screen. But you will live with that. You're very, very welcome, Seamus Crossey from Newry District Council. Good to see you.
You too, Ron.
Welcome aboard once again. We always know that when we have something to talk about that's real, work needing done, work that has been done, the promise of great things to come, we turn to Seamus Crossey, and you're here again. You're getting ready for the year ahead at Cranfield. A busy year it will be.
Yes, basically, and thanks for inviting me on, Rowan. Basically, Cranfield got a lot of damage done in the winter storms at the turn of the year there, and the summer season's fast approaching, formally sort of mid-June, and we're trying between now and then to do some remedial works to leave it ready for Joe Public when they come to use it, so it's safe for their use. I suppose what I'm getting at is there was slipways damaged, there was disabled access ramp damaged, and signage wrecked. It was, I think, a bomb had hit the site, but hopefully over the next couple of weeks we will get some remedial works carried out, so we leave the site ready.
But it's no bother to you. You will do that. Is it? How major is major in this, or is it just a matter of tidying?
Well, I suppose there's two things. What we're doing now is to try and leave it right for this coming summer season. Council may well take stock after this summer as to what way they want to go with the site in terms of there's maybe need for more major works to cover the site for a number of years after this summer season. But I suppose that'll be their call, I suppose, once this summer's out of the way. But we need to act fast to leave it ready for this summer, so that when people, visitors, and obviously there's a lot of caravan sites in the area, when they're down there using it, it's safe and ready for their use.
It's over the generations, it's been a lovely place for a day trip, or indeed then, maybe 40 years ago, the caravans all started coming into play, and people have got great value out of Cranfield over the years.
Yes, when I first asked to take on this job, I asked what was the visitor numbers last year, and they told me we're somewhere in the region of about 49,500.
Wow, that's something.
It's a fair few in any given season. As you say, year on year, it seems to be growing and doing well, Cranfield. And I suppose what we're trying to do is we don't want to impact on that, and you want to leave it right for those visitors and not be given a bad impression.
No. We still have got the blue flag, don't we?
Yes, the blue flag is still there, and I suppose we're trying to do enough with these works to make sure that's not affected. But that status is still there, as you say, Rowan.
Well, it's good to have that. And of course, Cranfield doesn't stand alone. We have the Kilbrony Park. You're constantly promoting Kilbrony, Cranfield. It's all good. And it's a big enough call, because in Kilbrony, take for example the great event of vintage cars that's coming, you need to manage that very carefully and very well, because otherwise the ground will be ploughed up and all the rest of it. There's, I suppose, the spectre of overuse can come in, but you do it so well. The thing is, it's like creatures feeding in a field. You move it around and you keep everything right, and it always looks shimmering.
Yeah. You're right, with Kilbrony every year in that June, you can be lucky or unlucky. It just depends on the build up to it. You're always trying to take stock of how much water's in the ground, and you're praying for good weather on the day. But as you know, Irish weather, what do? You just...
That's what I say, the Giro that has just gone through, we had the people all over the world, the millions who watched, they will see Ireland's greatest ever commodity, that gentle curtain between the sky and the earth, the rain.
Yeah, and the grass was pretty green, so...
Well, surely. So that's how you get the green grass at the end, of the day. Yeah. So what else is fresh with you up there at the moment? Any more word on the public realm scheme for Warren Point, or are we ready to go when the time frame slots in?
Well, basically, the last time I was here, I was trying to clarify where we were with it, and briefly, post the election that's just about to happen next week, when the new council is elected and first meets in June, they will be briefed on both the Warren Point and the Newry Cathedral Corridor schemes. And hopefully at that stage, that's when the green light will be given to the budgetary spend for both of those in the 15-16 financial year. At this stage, pre-election, we're sort of in a little bit of limbo between the old council and the new council coming in. the new shadow council, as it is, they will have the say over the 15-16 budget, Rowan.
I'm so glad you didn't call it, you're calling it a shadow council, because I'm fed up with this thing of super council. But that clarification is very important. It's not a super council, it's just a council. And it's a shadow council for a wee while. And then we'll all be just normal council business getting on with it. On the question of the budget spend on the Cathedral Corridor and the Warren Point Street project, you will, all being well, get government money towards it. What will be your own spend on it? What kind of ask will be made? Well,
without getting into the mechanics of the exact figures, the norm is that it's an 80-20 split in favour of the government pot.
Yeah, so they give 20.
They give 80.
80.
So, yeah, the 80. Council then as such gives 20. Yes, that's the norm. But what I might do, Rowan, maybe take you up, is that by late June, early July, we shall know, and we come back at that point.
Yes, you're welcome anytime,
know as to what hopefully the green light will be given then. And can inform people as to what's happening in the programme, the rollout, and the time frame for it.
Slieve Gullion continues from success to success to success.
Yes, there's a lot of people doing a lot of work at Slieve Gullion, trying to take it forward. I'm not personally involved in any of the projects up there. I do know of them, but as you say, it's not for the want of trying in terms of efforts been put in.
It's good, and it's all, you know, you're not involved there, but it's all in our ownership, you know, as people of the area, and it's a very, very vibrant project there indeed.
Yeah, no, for many years nothing happened at Slieve Gullion, and then a few years back, I suppose the trigger was with Grounded, and then with the play park, the whole thing just seemed to spark. And there's a great sort of feeling about it now. When I bring my own children up there, you know, there's a good buzz about the place, and they're always looking to do new things in terms of even our own landscape section there, doing little projects up within the forest and walkways and pathways. So there's lots to do for people.
But when I had children to take to places many years ago now, we had, if we wanted to go to a park like Slieve Gullion, we had to go to Dunaree, down across the border and away, or down that part of the world. But I mean, I remember doing that. But you're blessed now. You just get in the car out the road. There you are. You can go and have a meal at the restaurant, or you can have a picnic. You can do whatever you want to do. And all the time, there's this business of the ecotourism, where you've been showing things like the red squirrels and the butterflies. Your children are blessed, of course, now.
Yeah, well, we're lucky, I suppose, as you say, the geography of it in terms of Mourne, Cooley and Gullion, you know, and all the sort of assets around them, we're spoiled for choice.
We are indeed.
Your average Sunday sat out for a spin, you're not sure what direction to head.
Isn't it good, though? Isn't it great? What about, it's maybe not part of your bailiwick, but I mean, what about the Canal Side Walk? It's due to open in June.
Well, you're talking about the Greenway.
I'm talking about the public realms, you know, along through Newry, the walkway. Through Newry. Sorry, I confused you there.
You're okay. Yes, the linkages scheme, as we call it. Basically, we're on programme, fingers crossed. We meet the contractor next week on our monthly meeting.
Tell him he seems to be slowing down. Because my observation, I'm probably wrong here, so you can smack me on the knuckles for this, but my observation is it's moderately easy for a contractor to whack on the big stuff and pull out the stuff, bucket it in and do this. But when you come to the little bits, finalising and just tiddling it around, that can be infinitely more problematic.
Yeah, he is on programme for the end of June, first week of July, and that could change. Anything can happen, as you know. What people don't see is that the railings are getting fabricated at the moment.
Oh, yes.
And they'll come to site in a few weeks' time to go up. Wherever there are crossing points off the new path to the building line, those build-outs in the building line still have to be done. The trees still have to be closed in with the resin, so it's not soil showing. The furniture has to go in. So there's lots of footery stuff still to happen. The bit of art has to be installed at Buttertree and Quay.
Of course.
So you're right, we're closing in, and it gets a bit frustrating just the last, because about a month ago the place was full of men. And it's sort of the downside squads now as the paving's all lead, so it's the smaller footery stuff getting done now.
Absolutely. But it's got a good feel to it, Seamus.
Oh yes, I suppose it's like anything, it's a new path, it's a wider path. You're not replacing, the original path was a narrower path. This is a new space. and you're taking away what was an old wall, but you couldn't see the water.
That's
Now
right.
you can see the water.
You can. And I do hope you've registered in your book of registering my desire to picnic on it as the summer comes and takes us through.
Yeah, you want to.
One of the things you might do for me, and I really, really want you to do this because I see a disaster waiting, and you're the man who can push a button and make it happen. Outside the Marine Tavern in Warren Point, you know that little community area? We've talked about this before. If you look out to sea on the right-hand side, there's a little wall and a little ledge, and children have direct access to it from the little amenity park there. And at high tide, there's 8 feet of water there, 2 feet out. And that is going, some child is going, they do congregate. It's a great adventure for them, racing out through the railings, racing out along the wall, and then racing back again. But when the tide's out, you can see there is very substantial depth there and very real danger. Easy enough to sort out, isn't it?
Well, you raised that with me before.
Yeah.
I have reported it on to the tourism section that look after that.
Yeah, they
what
need
I
to
will
do
do is I'll
something.
follow it up just to find
Yeah.
out what is going to happen there.
Well, you tell the tourism people, if God forbid there is a death, that you have told them and I have told them, and to get their system into gear and sort it out, because it's not good. It's crying out for attention, and maybe they're too busy going to China and promoting twins. No, they don't do that sort of thing. They don't do
Well,
that.
you'd also raised the issue of the drop curb there at that
The
same
drop
location.
curb there as
so
well. Yeah,
I
that's
had
the-
reported that to road
Yeah,
service, so
yeah.
we'll follow up on that as well.
We'll form our own, our own sort of. We'll take over. A republic of doing things right. This man's a good man, and I'm sorry if I'm embarrassing you on that, but it's important we get these things done.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
as you say, you're the right man in the right place, and you can move these things along, and that's good. Anything else from your point of view that you want to talk to us about before we let
No,
you
I
go?
suppose just in recapping on the Cranfield one, as I said, hopefully we get our contractor appointed, we get the work done so it's left ready for that. The RNLI start sort of manning the beach down there from the 21st of June, so we want to have the works done for then. And the school's getting off that main season to be ready for it, Rowan.
One of the things, and we had across the water, we had the 3, just a good point to make here, the 3 canoeists who died in the last 24 hours in England on the river, on the swollen river in Northumberland. I saw they were wearing life jackets, and that's fine, and do that at Cranfield. Always wear your life jacket. But they were in canoes which were wholly unsuitable for that kind of water. They were in canoes that you sit on, not sit in.
Yeah.
Because the safety of canoes, dear friends, those of you who are going down to the water, depends on having the right canoe for the right environment. The sit-on canoe is something you'd use on a pond. The sit-in canoe, the kayak, is something you would use on a moving ocean and a moving sea. And those people on that river, they were destined to get into trouble. And big weirs. And it's great that you have been instrumental in Newry and Mourne in getting the beach watch established at Warren Point. You've done that. The council has been involved in that. The RNLI has been involved in it. And you're doing good things there. Congratulations on that. And let's hope that we don't have any nastiness this year and people are wise. This is the whole thing.
Yeah, well, it's as good as the management policy you have in place in Cranfield. As I said, tourism work closely with the RNLI and local stakeholders down there to try and ensure they have a good policy in terms of access to the water.
No, you're good. That was innovative what you did there in putting the jet skis there to be safety and going out and looking after people, and as you say, the RNLI and all of that. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you.
We're going to play you some money, or we're going to do some music.
Some money
I said,
be all right.
Pay him some money. We'll pay him some music.
Happy days.
Happy days. God
Thank
bless
you.
you. Go well. Take care.